Cyberpunk Uncensored.
Okay, so last session was just a bit of a quick introduction. You're still working at the Digital Horizons main office, and you have a quick look over at Roll20. Their office is basically located in the upper marina, on one of the just off one of the major roads heading out towards Westbrook. So yeah, that's sort of roughly where it sits. You've been assigned to a rather young-looking guy who introduces himself as, and this is where my brain goes blank. But hey, that's the thing. Somebody come up with a name for me, please.
Jameson.
Mr. Jameson. Not Mr. Johnson, that's someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong game system. But Mr. Jameson is... he looks a little young. And says, well, I'm here to sort of give you your orientation and sort of set it all up for you guys. So he leads you through the building. You get sort of taken into a small sort of off the edge of an open office space. There's a couple of desks and that sort of stuff. There's still people, technicians setting up computers and that sort of stuff. But says, look, we'll be in here, just hopefully by the end of the day. But we've got two urgent matters that you guys need to sort of sort out straight away that the boss was talking about earlier. The first was a broken data term sitting between Watson and New Westbrook on the way out, and the second was the Happy Valley Retirement Oasis and their massive amount of data usage. So yeah, and he sort of glances around the room just to sort of think, yeah, before they get things set up, we really need to go over some of the rules. Basically, each month you can get a bonus of up to $2,000 each. It's all thrown into a kitty. However, it's also directly linked to your KPIs. And so, if for this coming month you can make sure that bad things happen so that we can start low and go high. Always looks good for the numbers that way. So that way we can just sort of game the system a little bit. So if, like, the van gets scratched up a little bit, or there's a little bit of local damage, then, you know, that's okay. Don't want to push it out too far because this operation has its, like, financial limits and it's pretty tight.
So you're saying to not be on our best behaviour, just be on our reasonable behaviour. So we can upgrade to good, then best.
Well, something along that lines. It's mainly worried about how much the finance department sort of leans over our shoulder and looks at those numbers. So, you know, and one of the other IT people who's just sort of setting up a computer sort of glances over, shakes his head, goes back to what he's doing with the machine, plugs it in sort of before disappearing out of the room for another box worth of equipment. So if you guys can get that done, now if you head down to the motor pool department downstairs, they'll allocate you with a vehicle with all the technical equipment that you need. Just talk to Barry down in motor pool. He said he's going to set you up really well. So he owes me a favour, so we'll see how we go.
Now, you're saying we've got a terminal we need to look at. Well, I can chat, but we've got a driver, we've got a thing, but we're a bit short on technical abilities because we were promised basically some instruction on how to improve on the technical side. But if we had someone we could go have a look at this terminal, basically see what needs to be, and come back later to it after we've done Happy Valley.
Well,
It's on its way.
Yeah, look, any way you handle it, I'll leave it up to you. But I'm not heading out there because I'm best working from here. But you know, Juice has got all the technical skills that should be able to patch that thing up. I'm not too sure what's happened to TCP. He's off reservation at the moment, but hopefully he'll show back up, or we'll work out what's happened to him.
He's basically trying to improve his KPIs by basically setting them in the ground.
Well, yeah, there's certain lines you can't cross though. So I'll leave. Okay, so if you want to handle the data term later, that's fine.
We can have a look as we go past to see what needs. Would you guys agree on that?
The data term should be nice and easy.
Yeah.
I can kit bash something together. I do have a question though.
Yep.
For the Happy Valley retirement home, what actually counts as property damage?
Anything their corporation is willing to charge our corporation because we did it.
Okay. So if people it is personal injury covered in that?
I suspect it would be, especially medical coverage.
Yep. So don't go scaring the locals and them having a heart attack.
I'm basically
it depends if you classify locals, because it's only covers people with identities.
Yeah, I'm looking over at the rocker boy. Make sure to wear a shirt this time, not just a jacket.
When it gets to like, look, any blanks, anybody without like full identity papers, they're not covered in the KPI costing stuff. So you know, I've heard of things of other teams just sort of bouncing over old grannies and stuff. I wouldn't suggest you do it yourself because we don't know who's backed by who. But when you hit the old shanty towns in the edge of the city, there are a lot of people out there, they don't have the papers. And look, if you're going through somewhere like Watson or some of the other more controlled areas, then, you know, you hit the executive zone, you're not walking in without identity. But you guys already know that. So, anyhow, I'll leave it up to you of how you want to do this.
Looking around at the others. How?
Sorry, Rev, I can't quite hear you.
Well, I'm just transporting you guys, but I gotta tell you, it feels like it's been months since I've been even slightly conscious. So can someone remind me, explain it to me like I'm 5. We've got 2 jobs. One's a nursery.
One's a simple patch job on a data term that's not doing what it should.
Oh, I was asking the players.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So basically,
then we can decide faster.
We've got a data terminal which is not playing the game. We can have a look, see what parts we need later on, and we can then swing by a Happy Valley and see why the hell their data usage is.
I'm sorry, playing the game? Explain, sorry?
It's not part of the network. It keeps dropping off the network.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're basically, Happy Valley is way too high on the data usage.
Right, so that's the first job. What about the second job?
The second job being the data term keeps dropping off the network.
Okay.
So there's a
Sorry,
good chance.
I think I may be misunderstanding that, because there's something dropping off, and if I've got it correct, the other job is the nursing home where the data usage is really high.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
It's
one
totally
dropping off,
spiked.
one too high.
Yeah.
Okay.
So somebody keeps
I
breaking
hate
the data
to be-
term, and we've sent teams in 2 or 3 times. One of the teams actually got hit by a pack of gangers. So we need a better solution out there to get it up and running and stop it breaking again.
Okay, I hate to be that guy, but all things considered, since we're one person down, is there one that's going to be more profitable to us, considering we're going to be in considerably more danger?
We're going to be doing both.
Yeah, but which one we do first, considering that every time we walk in, we're risking injury, is probably better to know, right?
There's no real way without any sort of intel to find out what's going on at either one. The nursing home
what
sounds.
I'm saying is there
easy.
an offer? Is the offer higher for one job or the other, Mr. Johnson?
Oh, Jameson. But yeah, look, the data term's just a patch job. We,
Do that on the way. It's a
standard
bonus.
retainer, and it's not really considered big game. But
Okay,
the data
cool.
usage is like, that needs to get sorted out as a priority.
Well, there you go. I mean, we're probably going to get shot at and maybe killed at either place. Might as well make some more money while we're doing it. That's my vote.
Because we got to remember, Rev, if we don't have data terminals going out, we don't have customers coming in, so we don't get paid.
Yeah, I kind of blinked while you said all that. I just heard more money.
Hey.
We'll tell you where to go. You get us there.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, don't bother explaining philosophy to me. It's all good. I go vroom vroom.
Philosophy.
Philosophy. Yeah, gotcha.
An O in there, not an A.
Yeah.
We'll work on that one for now.
Philistines. Gotcha.
No, you're thinking hedonist now.
What, hedonists? Anyhow. All right, so...
Barry, what do you think on this one?
Sorry, cut off at the start. Who are you asking?
Ifakari, what is your thoughts on this? And
Your face is very still. We can't. Yeah.
Hey, Rev, look behind you.
I reckon go to the data term first.
Now, are we going to be able to keep a shirt on you, Ifakari, so when we go to the old granny, they're not going to have a heart attack by seeing you basically half shirtless and the jacket only?
I don't know, man. I think at the very least it'd be entertaining to see them grovel all over him. It'd be a great distraction while we go in, actually. I vote for shirt off. They'll be all over him. I mean, granted, you'll probably have to have sex with at least one of them. But, while that happens, we'll make sure to get the job done.
You know what they say, the older the prune, the sweeter the poon.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a fine wine, you know? You get the more years on them, the better they taste.
There's a man who's going to have a long career.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's either going to get blown by these old ladies or stabbed. Maybe both.
So, Techie, basically, what equipment do you need?
You! Job title!
I've got an idea for a way to try and fix the data term. If we get it operational again, and then essentially bury it in a cement housing. So it does make repairing a bit more difficult, but I'd need a jackhammer to actually access any of the stuff.
Most of them are encased in steel, but yes, they also have access hatches, so you can probably seal that up.
Either that or weld it, yeah.
So we want wood, cement, and a welder.
Well,
Sounds like we're going for the easy job first, so get the van started.
All
Let's
right.
go.
Yep.
So Rev, you head on downstairs.
Yeah.
I assume the rest of you follow.
Yep.
Well, I mean, on their ride, so.
Yep.
Let's see what.
Jump.
All right. A quick
Can you
ride.
get a little bit more comfortable than the last ride I was in? It was literally basically it was a car and we're riding on the outside. So try and get something better. Hopefully you can do better than they last ride on.
Down in the motor pool, you meet up with Bruce, who is a large, bald guy, covered in tattoos. The other arm excessively cybered. So, what you want?
Good evening, my friend. Basically, we brought down someone this time who actually knows how to drive a vehicle, and they will look after your equipment with brilliant ease, and it might even come back better than it went. As long as it's nice and
this guy relevant to us, or is he just a dude that came up to us and said, "What do you want?"
No, he's the guy who runs the motor pool, Bruce.
Oh!
I'm
sorry.
I thought we got accosted by someone who's trying to skimmy us for money.
I'm sorry. No. When you get accosted for somebody for money, you'll know about it.
Yeah.
But
right.
down in the motor pool, Bruce, large guy,
Bruce.
shaved head.
Yeah.
Tats on one side
I'm
or the
basically
other.
trying to sweet
He's got
talk
my
my way
keys,
into
does
getting
he?
us a good vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Make a persuasion roll for the sweet talking. Rev, do you want to do anything?
Well, I mean, I had my vehicle that I have, but I'm gonna wait and see what we get out of this sweet talking, I guess.
So how do we do this one? Basically, persuasion.
It's persuasion.
Level
should.
5 plus cool 8, so that
13
is
plus whatever your dice roll is.
Yeah, click the button next to the skill and it should automatically roll.
17.
Excellent. Well,
Do I get any bonuses for having a driver who can look after the vehicle this time?
I'll give you +2 on that one.
It's a nomad guy. Yeah.
It's a nomad guy. They know their stuff.
I probably look the part. Yeah.
So he looks at you, Rev, because you'll be the driver.
No, I'm the butler. Yeah, pal.
He sort of takes a double take and says, "Okay," and he points across the bay. Jamison organised you that one, and he points out a beat up looking van that's got the logo sprayed on the side. It's sitting a little low on the suspension, but you might find, and he points across to one of the 5 or 6 sort of standard sedans that are basically sort of, you know, generic, I suppose, bog standards to sedans. If I had a name, I'd give them one.
Jackrabbit?
Yeah, the Militech Jackrabbit. They're fairly, you know, reasonably well plated. It says the 2 on the left, they've actually got some body armour in them. They're a little slower, a little more sluggish, but, you know, take your pick. So,
my cat really wants to go outside.
Come on, cats come first.
Go ahead.
We can't have
Okay. She's in and out. Fucking animals.
we can't have stowaways in this.
All right. Okay. Can I take the guy aside for a second?
Yep.
Because I don't want to. I just want to talk to him. Just like, okay. I think I'm gonna take the van, and I. When we're done with this conversation, it's gonna look like you convinced me, even though I know it's better to have armor. And the reason is because our rocker boy, Cherry, what's your title? What's
Media.
What's your,
Cherry Bomb's the media.
Our media talks a lot, and I need some peace and quiet. So when we're done with this conversation, you're gonna act like you convinced me, okay? Please.
He walks over and says, "All right, this is what you're getting," and he grabs the keys and hands you a set of keys.
You twisted my arm. Okay, well, guess you guys are all in the back behind some serious plated metal. Darn. Okay.
You just, yeah. He wasn't particularly convincing, let me put it that way.
You do. Yeah.
You take this car!
You take.
God, I've got into Russian now.
But did we end up with the original van, or did we get something else that's reasonable?
You end up with the original van. The selected van.
I'll tell you what as well, because I have access to a certain amount of vehicles, and I don't have the rules in front of me right now, but I believe I can have a bike in there.
Yes.
So what I will do with Billy, is that his name? Sorry.
Bruce.
Thank
Bruce.
you.
Yeah. Bruce's permission is how many do we have? We have 3. I may lay down a bike kind of horizontal.
You can fit a bike in the back. It'll be a little cramped for everybody else.
Might be a bit of a tight fit, but at least that way we've got some options.
Push bike or motorbike?
My Nomad bike.
It'll be a motorbike.
Yeah.
Nomads use a lot of old petrol guzzlers.
Yeah.
So basically, we take out half the seats, and basically we're sitting on one side, your bike's sitting on the other.
Yep. Well, the seats fold up because it's designed for multiple different operations.
Yeah. So that way, if someone needs to do something while I'm doing something else, there's options. So.
That's if somebody else
We
can
have
ride
an
a
escape
bike.
pod.
I mean, maybe. I mean, it's no skin on my nose. I think it's. Oh wait, it's right. Yeah. Take care of the bike. Don't scratch it. Anyway, let's go.
All right.
I just realized.
Okay, so you clear.
Cherry's looking at him bringing in the escape pod, and it's like, Seriously, do you not trust you're driving that well?
The escape pod?
The bike.
Oh, well, I mean, it's always good to have an option. And to be perfectly honest, if things go really poorly and we need to split off, that's probably a good way to do it. So.
Also, the bike's going to go a lot faster than this van.
Yes.
Yep.
This
So
van
if
has
we
seen
need
better
to-
days.
Yeah.
But
If we need to give chase, we will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Bruce, do you have an inventory system here? I just wanted to have a look at what's available in case something else we need to pick up.
Yeah, and he glances over at the computer sitting there. He says, I handle everything. Just ask and I can organise it.
Okay. So we don't have to like submit requisition forms or anything?
Well, your handler, the people upstairs, should be doing that stuff for you.
This is going to be a cruisy job.
I'm sure Jameson is basically going to be happy that we get the job done. Do you happen to have a welder, by the way, a portable welder?
To take with you?
Yes.
Yeah, I can swing out. Give me a minute, and sort of ducks back into to a storeroom. Pulls out a small handheld canister about a foot long, with a little hand thing, much like a fire extinguisher, but it's a handheld portable water welder. Weighs about 2 kilos.
Perfect.
She should be about half full.
Mm-hmm. Awesome, that'll get the job done nicely.
All right.
There's already be some other tools stashed in the van. Standard sort of equipment outlay that you'd expect to see in that sort of stuff. Although a welder's not standard issue, so I'll make note of it.
Basically, I want to send a quick text message to Hobby. I don't know your character name, sorry.
Yep.
Juice, that was it. If you want to check the gear and basically pick up anything that we need.
Yep.
I'm basically going to try and distract Bruce and things like that and get on his good side.
Okay. Well, you've already made a persuasion roll for that one, so I'll leave that at that. But Juice, if you want to make a basic tech roll, do we have basic tech still?
Yes, we do.
Basic tech roll, and you can also add your techie special ability.
Yep.
So we're working on trying to get a hold of whatever equipment that Juice can get hold of.
That's +4 on top of that.
Yep, 23, so that's good. Yep, it's pretty much got a good portable workshop stacked in one corner. So it's about 1.5 by 1.5 feet. It's all wire caged in. It looks like there's a good array of tools for doing most sort of electronics and mechanical kind of repair work, but not much beyond that. Most of it's look beat up and had a fair bit of use. Mileage on it.
Shall we say I mean, if this is the last thing we need to do in terms of prep for the job, can we drive and do that?
Well, it's a case of if he hasn't got any equipment that he's going to need or want, we need to load it onto the van before we leave.
All right, then I'm going to obnoxiously rev the engine until he gets it quickly.
I've got my standard tool bag for electronics, so yeah, for this one I should be fine with the welder. Actually, I might just take that demo saw, the cutting saw, in case we got to get into somewhere.
All right, he basically writes some more stuff on a clipboard, rolls it round to you, and the screens have just gone bugger. Let's hopefully person rejoins in a sec. Can you sign here? And waves the clipboard at a couple of you.
Mm-hmm.
Who's signing for it?
I basically indicate to Ifikari over there.
Why me?
You sign
Because
for
I don't want to sign my name to anything yet.
Sure, I'll sign my name.
You're famous, so, free autographs. All right, so you're out the door, down the street, heading out of Night City towards... which way are you going to head? Are you going to head via Westbrook or via Watson?
Which one has the worst, the better amount of traffic at this time of day?
Also, where is the
Because
nurse?
I would know that.
Where's the nursing home as well? By the way, we haven't covered that.
The nursing home is out beyond the executive area, beyond Westbrook. It's just south of the executive area, and yep,
So
that's
sort of there.
Thank you very much. I was just trying to get to that. It doesn't touch on Haywood, but it's really just sort of probably about 2 or 3 k's south of the executive zone. So where you clicked about there, that sort of about covers it.
So explain it to me. Like if I'm gonna pass by, is it like significantly out of our way or only?
Well,
We're
the
heading-
data
I'm
term
asking the GM.
is
I'm asking
about
GM.
there.
Sorry, I'm not looking at Roll20. Just
Sorry.
can you explain
Yeah,
verbally?
we'll go to the terminal first. See what
Yeah.
it needs to do.
Yep. Sorry, I'm asking the GM, pal. Just
Yeah.
because there's too many channels of information.
Okay. Up on Roll20. Basically, where Watson and Westbrook touch, I'm going to put a little marker so you can see what I'm talking about.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to do it a nice, right where that thing pinged, and I'll just scribble that there. That's basically where the data term sits, and it's basically handling traffic sort of to the north of that. The corporate holiday villa, retirement resort / oasis is where the other red mark is. Further south of the executive zone mark there.
Okay, cool. And where are we currently?
You are currently in Upper Marina. I've just marked you.
Okay,
here
right there.
as the third.
Yeah.
Uh.
And what time of day is it currently?
It is currently just after 10:30.
Fuck. Okay.
So people have come into town.
Yeah.
Because everybody works in the middle of the city. There'll be still traffic flowing around all over the place. A lot of the big trucks will be doing their runs through or via the city to drop off goods and get rid of stuff or just cut and through. So there'll be less of the, I suppose, mum and pop commuter and more of the industrial haulage.
Okay. This probably isn't my first rodeo when it comes to
God no.
being subtle with vehicles and whatnot. So I'm going to assume that there are basically placards that I can replace it with. So as I'm leaving, kind of realizing that this is going to be out of our way, and we kind of,
what placards do you want to choose?
I don't want to be. Well, I was hoping to go for like a flower van kind of thing, so something that wasn't completely out of place, nearby a retirement village, essentially. Like, you know, like people give flowers to their loved ones. That's kind of the idea.
Flower delivery van?
Yeah.
He sort of looks that's usually reserved for other teams, but like, and he sort
I don't care, man. If it's fine if we need to prove ourselves. I'm just trying not to get shot today if I can.
Yeah, look, sorry, that's out. But I do have a UPS delivery service placard that somebody else brought back with half the van. And
I mean, it's better than big black van, so sure.
Yeah. There's also a couple of transport companies for electronics and that sort of stuff. We have a lot of that stuff.
You know what? Let's go with the electronics, because at least then we can bullshit effectively with juice in the background.
Give me a hard hat and a clipboard, and we're set.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, and that'll work out well. Actually, that'll work.
You
out.
have a hard hat.
This is an inspection. So that'll work out fine. So yeah, I'll take that and then be on my way under the Jackson. Jack's assuming that after midnight is when things get nuts. So I'm trying my best to drive subtly, but also get where we're going before midnight kind of rolls around.
What, midday? It's not midnight, it's midday.
Oh, I apologize. That completely changes my whole attitude. That's fine. Broad daylight. Yeah, all good.
We're all fine. No one here is a vampire. I think.
No, I meant like gangs and stuff, but it's fine.
Yeah. So another quick question.
Yep.
Judging from the map, we're actually fairly close to the hot zone. Do we get
Yeah.
issued with corporate Geiger counters just in case? Or
You
is
all
that
have
not a...
You all have a neural processor, and that tracks that kind of stuff. And you have
Okay.
monthly checkups to make sure
Yep.
that you haven't got too many rads.
Yep,
And none
good.
of you have been sent into the corporate zone, into the rad zone. So
Right,
you know,
yep.
it's not that bad. There's a lot of construction work going on there at the moment. Basically clearing out the radiation or the radioactive materials to refurbish the city. I'm not going to say it's a great job. They're just sort of happening a piece at a time. Although the Night City itself seems to be paying a packet for such reconstruction work. So yeah, and that's been going on for at least a decade.
Yep. So the on the map, the yellow sort of streets are the big arterial roads, I'm guessing?
Yep.
Okay.
So I assume you're going to swing through Upper Marina and follow it around the bay towards what's marked as terminal.
We were passing by the village first, is my understanding.
Village first?
No, we're doing the terminal first, then going to the village.
Yeah, but weren't we passing by the village to have a scope first, and then doing terminal?
I don't think
Understanding from the beginning.
I don't think there's much
it's out of my way,
information. I don't think there's much information we can get from a drive-by.
Okay, that's
If we're
fine.
gonna set
I just
up
remember that being
surveillance,
a
yeah.
conversation that we had. I mean,
Yep.
it's
The
out of my way
conversation
anyway.
kind of wandered two ways, so you know.
Yeah.
All right. So you head up basically to the Watson redevelopment on the edge of Westbrook.
Yep.
Turn off one of the major arterial roads, and you find yourself more in sort of back streets and that sort of stuff. Turning off one of the major back streets, you find sort of basically a cross intersection. The lights are out, and there's probably about 50 or so scooters winding their way slowly through the intersection. It's really jammed up and crossed up here because if you've ever seen traffic in Vietnam or that sort of place, there's the traffic lights are mainly sort of a guidelines, and people just sort of arbitrarily weave their way through one another, and that's basically what the traffic.
I have been on a tour bus in China.
Yep.
And let me tell you, I can tell you guys for a fact that I'm not stopping for anything or anyone. So you guys rapidly, you can't really, I'm not sure if you can see out, but just for the sake of visuals, you guys are just going, and like you guys are fine, you belted in, but there's a lot of rapid, because I'm not slowing down.
So standard Monday run then.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But that's basically the intersection where the data term sits. On your side of the street, as you pull up near it, you can see a small kid, maybe 12, 15, sitting on it, swinging their feet quite haphazardly, watching the intersection. Across the street, you've got tower blocks on either side. Basically, the traffic is weaving its way through back and forth pretty constantly. And what are you up to?
I think.
Can
you describe? Because you said the kid was sitting on the thing, but how tall is this thing that you're speaking?
Okay, the data term sits probably a good 3 feet off the ground. It's basically a large concrete block or metallic block rendered in plexicrete. It's probably 3 foot wide, 3 foot deep. There's a recess in there for a screen, so that people can access and use the data term. There's a couple of chairs either side of it. The screens looks like it's been punched in, and this kid is sitting there swinging the feet and sort of notices you as you guys are approaching.
Yeah, pile out. Yeah. I'll just kind of wave friendly like to the kid. I'm just trying to get a gauge on him.
Do you think you can pass the band across so it blocks the thing and gives us a bit of area to work in?
What?
If you're going to block traffic here, you're going to cause problems.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna safely cross the road and head towards the kid.
Yeah. It's one of those acts of faith where you basically just, you just walk straight out into traffic, keep going slow and easy, and people weave their way around you.
Yeah, no, pretty much just this the whole time.
Yeah.
Just walk. It's fine. And then, I'll wave to the kid and see how he responds as I come closer.
I'm going to be about a couple of paces behind Rev.
Okay. Hey, mister, what you want? His feet sort of bounce off the side of the data term.
Well, I mean, we're just coming to do a little repair spot where you're sitting, pal. You all right there?
Oh, look, I'm fine. This thing, on the other hand, this hasn't been working too well in the last couple of weeks.
Well, it's your lucky day, because that's exactly what we're here to take care of for you.
Yeah, just be a bit careful, because the last guy who jacked into it, well, Trauma Team came and picked them up. Lucky, because that person before that got deep fried, and their smell wasn't so good.
Oh, well, I appreciate the public service.
So the last person who came in, was that someone trying to repair it, or someone trying to get some free data access?
Yeah.
A guy dressed like you, like professional-like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they showed up 3.5 weeks ago.
Right.
Fixed it all up, was working charm. But then, like, some guys from points up to one of the city blocks, just anything. Yeah, they came in and did some mods to it. And then I think there was like a couple of netrunners just next door there from the pachinko parlor. They came and did something else. But I keep an eye on this sort of thing and try and do a good community service here. But it takes a lot of my time, and it's really hard to sort of keep an eye on things.
I'm gonna try and keep the kid distracted with just conversation, but I'm gonna give I'm gonna quirk my eye slightly at my teammates. Just kind of basically like looking around, sort of thing, because this screams like someone is watching us. Yeah. So I'm gonna keep chatting to the kid while I can, just being friendly.
Yeah.
Also, how young is the kid?
Look, 13, 14, somewhere around that.
Yeah. Yep.
Small, wiry.
Yep. Hey, well, thanks for all the help. Hey, how about I get you like a 6-pack of beer or something to say thank you properly?
That'd be great.
Is there like a convenience store sort of thing nearby?
There's little vendors up and down the road. There is a convenience store.
Or a vending machine or something. Yeah.
Yep.
I can take care of that for you if you want to get
started.
Oh,
yeah. Awesome. That's a 6-pack of Smash for the kid.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, come on, pal. Let's get you hammered, huh?
Yeah. So you're going to take the kid with you?
That's the plan, but if you want to make sure that
you
we're safe
Yep.
in the meantime. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
okay.
It looks like we may need to basically up the automated response on this to be a little bit more, shall we say, F off, you're not authorized.
No, completely the opposite. What you got here is you're either going to have a battle ongoing forever over this goddamn data term, or you fix this, put a second line in for free for anyone who can get access. It'll cost you a pittance per month for the company to do it, and they're not going to crack this thing open.
So basically reinforce our one,
yep.
Area, but also put a tap on for easy access for someone else.
So just to clarify, you two are discussing this while Rev takes the kid off to get the Smash?
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was heavily indicating that they should look around and make sure there's a sniper sight on.
Yeah.
Ithakare, Cherry Bomb, and Juice, can you all make perception rolls for me? Or awareness notice? Awareness notice or perception?
Perception.
Yeah. Yeah, not so much. Okay. All right.
How did I get a 3 on that?
If you roll a 1, you take a d10 off the total.
Yeah, not so great.
It's a fumble.
It's basically a fumble.
Yeah.
Juice.
Mhm.
You can hear scuffling from inside the data term, and since you're sitting right next to the control panel, sorry, not the control panel, the access hatch, basically this head of a small kid pops out and says, "Wow, free line? That'd be great," from inside the data term. It's a long, gangly kid who's got a techie's tool belt on and has been poking around in there, obviously. Yeah.
I'm a bit shocked by that, but I try and recover my cool quite quickly, and I ask him, "So, how are you getting in there? And basically, have you got enough room in there? Clear of the electrical lines?"
Yeah. The long, skinny tech, she sort of pulls herself out, sort of squirming out through the hatchway, and this 5'9" tall individual, rake thin, has a lot of cybertech based stuff hanging from the belt, but says, "Yeah, are you going to put another line in?"
Depends.
Looking at Deuce, ignoring you, looking at Deuce.
Yep. Hey, I've got the option of putting it through to my bosses. They might need a bit of convincing. You're the one who had been cracking our security?
No. Look, Mr. Fix, and he points back to where the other kid disappeared off to. He told me to fix it, try and get it back up and running again, and remove the whatever the other guys had done. But best talk to him. He can organise it to be left alone. He knows everybody around here.
So where do we find this Mr. Fix?
That was the one who's off, basically. I believe our friend is just taking him to go get some refreshments.
Rev arrives back with a 6-pack of Smash and Mr. Fix.
Okay, yep.
So I need to get more beer then. Awesome. Okay.
Here is someone who we can, instead of us coming out, who can basically be a local to keep an eye on the equipment. Because if we have to keep on coming back out here, I don't think we can leave a free line here. But if someone is going to look after this, I'm sure we might be able to persuade someone. Would we be able to do?
I think his name is Juice, for the record, guys. You guys are calling him a piece of shit right now.
No, that actually is the the reason.
It's
Is
with a
it
D.
Juice with a D or?
Yes.
It is.
Number 2.
Okay. I apologize. I thought it was Juice and everyone was good. Okay, I'm an idiot. Never mind.
But anyway, Juice, do you think if we have a local looking after this, we might be able to convince less technicians need to come out here?
Yeah, I don't see why not. The
kind of basically a persuasion for the kid whilst
Well, at this point, the tall one is looking at Mr. Fix with this pleading expression. Please, make this happen. Do you want to make a persuasion roll to persuade Mr. Fix? Actually, it's more like actually streetwise, but we'll take your persuasion in this case. Journal, and just.
I've given you both if you need to.
Brilliant. Oh, of course, it's all filling, and there's streetwise is in there somewhere. Great. Just okay, yeah. It'd be great if you could also send some technicians around like a month just to make sure it's still working, because things out this way get kind of patchy, and I know you guys have got a good system, whichever tech company you're from, but just having a little bit of hardware occasionally just to help smooth things over, to keep an eye on things.
So you're needing well, of course, if we're going to have a local technician, basically, as I side-eye to our gangly little friends, they're occasionally going to need some equipment dropped off, aren't they?
Yeah. So,
Basic Juice, do you think you might be able to organise a care package, possibly?
I'll tell you what, if there's no interruptions to this data term for 6 weeks, I'll come back here myself and see what I can do, okay? I'll bring some stuff along. if this goes down again because someone's messed with it in the next 6 weeks, the deal's off.
Mr. Fix looks and says, done.
Cool.
Basically, I just whispered to the gangly kid, you got a wish list at all yet?
Don't worry, I know what they need.
Yeah, but you still ask them what the wish list they'd like. You still ask.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look, they're using a version 1 scanner
For
over
the sake
there.
of brevity,
for the data.
electric fucking tools.
Yeah.
I mean, God, you could
I
probably
am
grab a few
going
things out of the
to-
back of the van and just smooth things over that way. But anyhow.
Yeah. I'm
No,
gonna quickly say to Deuce as well. It's just like we can actually organize deliveries around here. That's literally what my family does. So.
Yeah. I just want to.
No, I know.
Sure.
We'll
Yeah.
talk more about it later. But if you need a hand, let me know.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Fix says, okay, here's my number, or contact agent, and hands you a alphanumeric string for Mr. Fix.
That was a lot more wholesome than I thought it would be. All right, let's get in the. I honestly thought someone was going to get their head blown off while the kid distracted them.
I'm going to basically send him a quick text message to Deuce. Should we leave him a care package for now?
They get reply with they get nothing up front.
Roger that.
They have to earn it. Yeah.
Well, they got the line.
Yeah.
We'll get that sorted out soon. Yeah.
Oh, can we do that now, or do we have to come back to that?
Well, that'd take a simple electronics roll or cybertech roll from Deuce.
Oh, I think I understand. So, Deuce, you want to do that after 6 weeks?
No. They'll get the line now.
Okay, fine. Never mind.
But they don't get any of the other extra gear.
Yeah, you don't get bonus shit. Yeah.
So that's 20 with the techie bonus,
Brilliant.
which technically is a 20 on a fumble.
It didn't fix numbers off. Okay, that's good.
But wouldn't that be minus 10, minus D10 on the phone?
Yep, that's included.
That's with the fumble minus, yeah.
Oh god, yeah, but you only rolled a 1, so it sort of balances
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, I get another line in.
Yep.
I cover it as a diagnostic checking line for this terminal.
Yep.
So that it looks like it's just for us to use, but I give them that and the access details to use it.
So they can actually do that. All right.
Yep.
Okay, so that now has been wrapped up. You're back on the road again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Rev,
Yeah.
do you have a receipt for that smash? I'll put it into corporate.
Oh yeah, sure. And I'll sort that out.
Yep.
That was. I'm not used to that. I'm not used to.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
just being a
world of
bunch of-
negotiation, my friends.
Yeah, that was really patronizing. What I meant to say was, like, just normally it just ends south. Like, there's a reason we have armor in our literal fucking bodies, and that was nice.
Hey, I'm all for people expecting the worst, but occasionally you got to admire
No,
when
I am.
things go well.
That's
Yeah.
kind of that's the benefit of being slightly pessimistic is that I'm genuinely happy and surprised. Yeah.
You see, I'm more worried about this retirement home. If someone's running
Yeah, I mean,
data server out
Chances
of
are we
there,
had one good experience. Like I'm still ready to have everything meet my expectations. So.
Yep. Okay. So back on the road, heading south.
Yeah, I think so.
Out
Yeah.
and left.
hey, are either of you local to Night City?
Yeah,
know
I am,
the Westbrook
actually.
area?
Yeah,
Is there a good lunch?
relatively.
Is there a good place we can stop for a bite to eat in Westbrook on the way to
nearby
the next
here?
spot?
That's a good question, GM.
Yes, there is the Chubby Cow, maker of the great Locust Burger.
Perfect.
I don't recommend that one.
It's new.
Hey,
It's one of those fusion deals. Don't do it.
Yeah,
Hey, it
it's
can't-
fairly crunchy.
Hey, it's still better than Rat Burger. Have you seen the price of their ketchup?
Oh, you haven't tried a good a good rat, man. The fat.
A good rat burger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously, no, a good rat steak, good rat ribs, just
Mhm.
melts off the bone, man.
That's very true. But the problem is, the price of the condiments is way too high.
They do anything to hide the flavor.
Yep. You kind of need to, especially with some of the radioactive.
You
out
don't
there.
need sauce. You don't need sauce. It's perfect way it is.
The chubby cow does a whole mix of different sorts of foods and synth foods. It's all vat grown.
I mean, could be
If you're after real food, that's pushing it.
more expensive. Yeah, no, I mean, look,
No,
remind me later. My family actually kind of grows some secret veggie patch. We keep it underground so that no one goes killing people for literal vegetables. But
it does happen.
Speaking of which, I'm going to make a quick text to my mom, Sylvia, and just kind of do a general check-in. Just make sure everything's good on her end. She knows what I've done. This has all been approved by the family. I'm kind of helping spread our assets a bit, but I'm checking in.
Okay, cool. You check in. It'll take a little bit to get a response, but on the drive south, you do get a response. Did you still want to talk to the Boulder about the construction work that happened around that area you were looking into, the Happy Valley place?
Still talk to who?
The Boulder. He's another nomad in the family. He was heading up the construction operation that we did there. I don't know, a year or two ago. It was 5 years ago. We put the stuff up pretty quick. We got the concrete in and all that sort of stuff, and that you said you wanted to talk to him about the plans.
Information is never a bad thing. Yeah,
is that still a go?
Yeah, I'll say that I'm talking to her on the speaker, and she's got like a heavy kind of like Italian accent, just like yeah, mama, yeah. If do you want me to call him? Do you want to call him yourself?
I'll leave it with you.
Okay, no problem.
I was just seeing if you'd done it.
No, you know me. I'm always forgetting shit.
Dog wants out. Okay.
I'm gonna touch the little intercom so they can hear me in the back.
Yep.
And just go. We're gonna make a quick pit stop and get some info about the place we're going to. Hold tight.
All right. So you turn westward and head out to where your family's camped out, right northwest of the exec zone.
Okay,
northeast.
Cool. Northeast.
Yeah. Thank you. Directions are not my strong suit. And moving along one of the major freeways, heading south towards the executive zone, a Porsche Retro 911 zooms past your vehicle at 120, 140 miles an hour. Weaves in and out of traffic. Floating up above it, you can see a cluster of about 4, 5, maybe 6 drones, tracking with it quite heavily. Make me a perception roll since you're behind the driver's seat. You can add your moto to this.
Okay, will do.
It's the top's down. There's 2 people in the back.
Oh,
or
good.
in front.
Okay. Perception roll.
Yep.
And do we see anything of what's going on from the back as well?
Oh, you can see what's going on, but this is just to chart his reactions.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So I got a 12. What's my moto? Sorry.
4. It'll be 4.
Yeah, it'd be 4 at this point, right? So 16 then.
All right. So just at the last second, you see something catch off the sun as this crystal decanter flies out of one of the people's hands back towards the front windscreen.
Oh shit.
You're barely able to swing out of the way. You do sort of graze the guardrail a little bit to avoid this thing basically putting a hole in the thing, and you see the crystal decanter come down and smash and scatter into 1,000 pieces as the amber liquid inside of it just disappears, just scatters all over the place. The car is going way faster than you are at this point.
Oh,
and
fuck.
Yeah, they're on their way. What you do notice is, 2 scruffs of a dark brown hair and blonde hair, and a biotechnica number plate.
Okay, I'm gonna do my best to actually computer. I'm gonna talk out loud computer and just go number, letter, track.
Okay, you read all that stuff out to the computer.
Just like a voice recording thing,
Yep.
like remember this for later kind of thing.
You can just call that straight into your agent, and that will remember it
Done.
for you.
Yep.
If you had cyber optics, you might be able to grab a photo. If you got the camera
I have cyber. I have the sunglasses equivalent. Of that.
Okay, the mirror shades.
Yes.
Do they have a photographic function?
I don't know. No, I think it's just dark vision essentially.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll leave that at that. Yeah.
But that's
Also,
okay. Like I recorded I saw the numbers and I said them out loud. So
Yes, and that's recorded into your agent now.
Yeah. Okay.
while that was going on, was there any... I'll jump on my radio scanner and check if there's any unusual radio traffic in the area as part of the chase.
Oh, there's no chase.
Maybe I'm just being a bit ass.
Okay.
Well, you've got enough security tech. Your security tech's 6, isn't it?
Yes.
So, yeah, make me a roll. You do pick up some encoded channels in addition. That's massively high, so yes, definitely. There are a couple of encoded channels going on, and because of your military background, you recognise basically 2 of them are custom biotechnical ones. There's no way in hell you could crack them, but having listened to them and seen the data traces that many times, you recognise them for what they are.
I do have a scrambler, descrambler as well.
Yes, but you don't have the keys.
Yep, okay.
Sorry, I'm not... Look, having a background in cryptography, just as one of my random habits...
Yep.
The likelihood of you being able to break this without some serious computing power is really low.
Yep.
You recognise this as
we
high-level
had a
corporate...
net runner, but we don't.
Yeah, this is high-level corporate encoding. So this is not used by... Well, the Black Ops teams may have stuff this good. Any run-of-the-mill people, definitely not. But, Rev, you know that the 911 Retro, that's a cool 1.5 million euros worth of vehicle.
Okay. It also is bringing a lot of heat and is kind of like, I think we've done the best we can. I think they've probably gone a good...
Oh, they're way down the street. You do see a police motorcycle tear past you probably about a minute later.
All right.
When you said there's drones above them, any of them camera drones or anything like that?
You can recognise a pair of surveillance drones.
I'm guessing they're not broadcasting that info.
Well, they've got biotechnical logos on the side. That's a security detail.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure how well monitored my family have this area, but it's worth asking at least. So I'm just gonna keep to the plan and actually, how far back is the shit they dropped?
You mean the
probably
decanter
about 100 meters by now.
road?
100 meters.
Yeah.
Nah, it's not worth it. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm not stopping in the middle of
And you
traffic.
noticed that it shattered on impact.
Yeah. Okay.
You have a vehicle jack, don't you? Neural interface plus a link, vehicle link. Is it a vehicle link still?
I believe you gave me that,
Yeah.
I think that, yeah.
So you'd be able to see through the little side mirror cameras what's behind you. And you would have seen that shatter and scatter into...
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I was
it's-
just, it's, yeah, all good. I'm
right.
going to stick to the plan and take the next turn off where we meet my guy.
Okay. Alright, so... it's now hitting about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yep.
Excuse me. The city is giving away to... The freeways are becoming more and more broken. As you... Actually, 2 Ks later, before all that, actually, you notice the police officer standing on the roadside, leaning against their bike, talking to somebody on phone. They haven't stopped anything, they've just pulled over and they're talking. So, but further on down the road, it starts to become more and more dilapidated. The freeway gives way basically down to a surface road. another 2Ks later, you pass
Get ready
by...
for something bumpy.
Yeah. You pass the bollards that mark the edge of the freeway where it's just stopped.
Sure.
And it gives way to gravel and dirt.
Mm-hmm.
You have to really slow down.
Back on my favorite terrain. Yep.
Yeah. It gives So another 2Ks off into the wilderness on the edge of the city.
Yep.
Off in the distance, you notice the occasional ground car cutting back and forth of one pack or another, but you can't pick out who it is.
Hey.
But you pull up to a old petrol station where you are due to meet the Boulder.
Okay.
Who has the stuff for you.
Have I met this guy before?
Yeah, he's sort of mid-rank in the family. He organises construction projects, and organises people for construction projects. So he spends his time he's got a couple of corporate contacts, does some business, helps out with the business for them. Usually works through an intermediary, a fixer who's local to Night City, but basically organises materials and people for the construction side of things.
Okay. Okay. As I park and wait politely because they would have heard me coming. I'm just gonna wait for them to come to the door because it's polite, you know. Like we're not gonna put across the threshold.
An old standard petrol station with all the pumps are marked out of gas, but you know how this thing works. One of those will be working. You've just got to pick the right one.
Okay. Before I do that, I'm gonna quickly talk to my team as I open up the side door and just like, okay, so this guy lives up to his name because he comes down on people who piss him off. And I took a funny story for you, Deuce. I am so fucking bad with tools that he gave me a nail gun, and I still have the scar. Fun story. Anyway.
Also, if you ever need anything nailed, let me know. I don't want you to lose any more.
I'll ask you to do it. Yeah. But I think you two might get along. Yeah. So he's a nice enough guy. Just be careful. And I'm gonna look for the right pump.
Yep. All right. So basically, walking out from the English is a real problem today.
The van?
That's all right.
No, they're basically out of the building, out of the side of the building. You've got a really big, heavy guy with a linear frame and a tool belt wrapped around his thing around his waist. You recognise him instantly as the Boulder. His skin's got this grey sort of patchiness to him. The skin weave kind of has degraded over the last decade, so it's sort of cracking, but you know, it gets patched every so often.
Yeah, he's probably one of those old school guys who's like, it's still working. I don't need to pay money for that. Yeah.
It's still good. It's still good. Anyhow, he walks up, sort of stops, leans on one of the Bowsers, and says, "Rev, I heard you'd be coming.
Yeah.
You wanted to know about the place."
Yeah. Well, first let me introduce you to my teammates. This is Cherry. That silent one in the background, that's Ithikari. And that's Deuce. Deuce and you two are like peas in a pod. Because you know how to operate basic machinery. Yeah.
Well, at least you got to keep your fingers after the accident.
Yeah, I was worried about that. I mean, that was my me time hand, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So, you wanted to know about the place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anything you can tell us would be useful. You gotta admit, it's a little bit weird. We got given this job, and the data usage is off the charts, and
that's weird. It's some sort of medical clinic, isn't it?
And the main
it's like a nursing home, I think. It's kind of where people go to maintain and then die. Is my
the main issue is their data rate is way higher than what they're paying for. We can handle high rates if they're paid for.
Ah, okay. Well, yeah. Look, I can probably help you out. I did like a quick sketch, and if you have a quick look at Roll20, I'll flick you over to that. That's what I know the place looks like, but I know there was an extension out the back. So on the piece of paper, look, if you look onto the right here, that's the ground floor.
Roll20.
I'm not seeing anything
map.
at the moment.
I've just switched to the maps on Roll20, so you should.
No,
Have you
Might
dragged
take a
us
moment.
across? Yep, that's
have now.
changing it. Yep.
So if you look on the right of this, that's the ground floor.
Yep.
And the top piece here, there's a big roller door opening that was being fitted when we finished up the job. And then over here is the top floor. That top area is like completely open. And yeah, from what their techs who were coming in, so they were going to kit it all out with cryo sleep tubes and stuff. And but there's also going past there. Oh, it'd be 2 years ago now, I think it was. There was this it had doubled in size. There was an extension out the back. There was all this sort of stuff going on. They didn't get us for the work, but you know.
Yeah. Does that track? Does that sound like something that you that is appropriate for the kind of building that they're doing?
Look, I'm not a medico. I don't do the med stuff, you know. But you can easily extend a building like that. There's no problem with that. But just
yeah, I guess.
I'm not sure what they were doing there.
Yeah. All right. I guess the only other questions I had, did you deal with anyone in particular? Did you was there someone you talked to who gave you the work?
Yeah, there was a.
What were they like?
There's the CEO. Was it CEO? Oh, it was some sort of high up. I don't know. I don't do titles. Somebody called Clinton Gates. Fucking asshole.
Oh, good. Okay.
You know, we had to. You know, he kind of stiffed us on the money, but then when we kicked up to fuss, he did cough up.
Yeah.
But
yeah. What the fuck does that guy think he's talking to?
Well, yeah. Look, it cost them another job, so you know, they lost out that way, and that's when he came round. So you know, but
so.
Yeah.
No, were there any underground access or where the data lines sort of came in? Someone might have spliced it off there.
Well, that part was on a solid slab. The back half, I've got no idea.
Okay.
Okay. Everything seems to be pointing to the back half. There's a pair of
transmission lines that run up to it, and I was gonna show this map to you guys here, but of course the screen doesn't work. So there's a pair of transmission lines that run to a substation across the turning circle that it's located at. And that's, you know, that is meant to be supplying power to the entire area. Next door there was a solar farm that had been set up and I think was still operating. The company went bust for a little bit, but somebody else took it over, that kind of stuff. Well, what else was local? Pentagrow had the Pentagrow meat products. They had like a big warehouse there, doing all their factory farming kind of stuff. You know, they supply a lot of the fresh food to the area. We were able to get some stuff on the cheap while we were doing the job, so that was good. What else? Yeah, look.
No, I think you've been very helpful. If nothing else, we know the name of one of the execs. And we have two masterclass bullshitters right here, thumbing at Cherry and Ithakari. So I think with that alone, I think we're going to have a significant advantage. So thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. All for the family.
Yeah, all for the family. And, you know, I'll do the thing that we do.
Yep.
And, he seems to have mellowed out, which is nice. And I'm kind of like that worked out nicely.
Well, he's probably pushing, 35, getting close to 40. He's, you know, I'm certain if you rile him up, he'll become the strong-willed Italian.
Right.
And given that he's got the frame, will hit rather hard.
Yeah, I remember. Okay. Well, I'm gonna thank him. Grazie. And I'll look at my teammates if there's anything else I want to ask him. Otherwise, I'll just pop right in.
Cool. All right.
No, all good.
So, other than the name Clint, any other names that we might be able to be handy to know or drop in when we're there?
If he knew, he would have told us. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gates, Mr. Gates.
Mm.
So I'm thinking hard hat for you, Deuce, and and you with a camera on your shoulder, Cherry. We've heard about the scandal, and I'll let you make up the rest.
I was thinking something simple. I'm the technician. Cherry's my manager because I've got a performance review.
Mm-hmm.
That way, she doesn't need to know anything technical.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Yeah. I mean,
That
let's try
works.
that. Let's try that.
Like,
All right.
Yeah, you
I'm
do
gonna
know-
quickly go to the bathroom as we.
My way through tech.
the important thing, Sherry, is can you be? Let's say the role is entirely selfishly looking for promotion with no care for anyone else's well-being. You know, standard middle management.
You mean I don't need to act?
Yeah, well, I don't know you that well yet.
I can handle that. Basically, Now the question is, are you on the good books or the bad books at the moment?
Hey, I know I do the job right.
Yeah, but basically your reviews have not been so good so far, so we might need to crack the whip on you.
I'm certain you'll work it out when you get there.
Yeah.
All right. Cutting back through into the nice city map.
Whew.
So Rev, how many times
Yeah,
did
pal.
he throw you off the work site before you learnt?
Well, metaphorically 3 times, 1 time for real, and 2 stories.
You dropped the second
Yeah.
story?
He was aiming for a pile of bags. They were just concrete ones.
Why do you think I'm so stupid? Brain damage. You know?
All right.
No comment.
Okay.
That's what I
Right,
tell people
right.
anyway. Maybe I'm sly like a fox. You don't know.
The main thing is you can drive. That's the important bit.
Yep.
I go beep beep.
No, that's what happens when you're basically swearing on air. We have to bleep you every single time.
Beep.
I've known droids which swear less than you, and they're called R2.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I am once I parked. I don't think I fit in with this ruse. So if everyone is acceptable with this plan, I'm gonna take out the bike to parking maybe a block away, and
Well,
I
you
think
drive
I'm gonna
the car
do.
park
I think
because
I'm
you're
gonna
a
do
driver.
a circle scout.
How about if we carry on the bike and you just drop us as the driver?
Yeah, but see, look. I mean, I'm gonna put this like as delicately as I can. If I scratch the bike, it's my mom will skin me.
Okay,
So-
you ride the bike. If a
Yeah.
car can be the driver.
I mean,
I
I'm
can't
happy
drive.
to make my way back to the car. I think Ithakari should go with you because he's good at talking. I am just okay, but I can at least make sure you guys are all right around the
Yep.
outside.
All right.
Yep.
That's
Also,
what
I
I'm
wasn't planning on spending too long in there. Probably like a half hour to at most to
that's
check
fine.
the place out.
But if 4
Nothing
people
too
are coming
suspicious.
in for
Yeah.
a simple tech job, I
Yeah.
wouldn't buy that. So I'm just gonna be a nuisance, like motorcycling around the area.
I'm also going to send off a request for our tech department to analyze the data coming in and out of the place for the next hour to capture the data coming in and out.
Do you want high detail responses for the next hour, or do you just after?
A couple of things. One, I want a sample of the data to see if it's any particular type of traffic.
Yep.
If it's just something simple like they're running a porn site or something and streaming video, we can deal with that easy.
Yeah.
Hey, it could happen.
I mean, it's profitable.
Well,
if,
given that there is
if history's taught us anything, porn is profitable. So there's
I'm
every
betting they're using the old people as biological data centers or processors.
The other thing is, if any netrunners jump into the system while I'm checking some stuff and they start wiping data or doing anything there, yeah, just as sort of a backup thing.
Okay.
So you want some remote network runners basically sat on the network?
Yeah, just whatever monitoring they can do. They know how to do their job.
The hassle is I can't draw the map without actually touching the bloody graphics tablet. And it's being irritating. Because I'm trying to hand draw this map that I should have done later. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just call a break for 5 minutes.
Yep.
Go take a bio break if you need it. I'm going to get this map drawn. Because it's the one I didn't actually sort out beforehand. And we'll pick it back up in 5 minutes.
See you then.
Go. Easy done.
Hey, Ifikari, do you want to, when you're in there, to actually go and basically wander around there and see what's going around, or do you want me to do that?
I think I might actually have to leave soon.
Okay.
Roger that. Basically, short on sleep.
Yeah. Well, I'm basically just going to run the next scene. I'll call it quits there. But just need to get this map sketched out so you guys can do what you need to do.
So, Ifikari, can you hang fire with us for another half hour?
It'll be half hour. I can't go longer than that.
What? You have no endurance?
No.
Yeah, I'll be able to do that.
Yeah. So, Ifikari, do you want to basically be Juice's supervisor, and I'll see what I can do snooping off to the side?
Yeah.
You be middle management supervisor on Juice because his performance hasn't been that great.
I need to go for a smoke if there's just going to be a break.
Yeah, take your break.
Okay.
Take your smoke. That's okay.
I'm just chatting.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I've got friends who are long-time smokers, so that's fine.
Roger that, yeah. But no, I think run Ifikari as Juice's supervisor, and I'll see if I can wander off and find out what's behind the green curtain, as it were.
Yep. Well, it seems like a good plan. We'll just see how it turns out.
Always the way.
Let's see. Yeah, that's half.
I wish I was going in, but like, yeah, he's like his personal skills are okay, but every time like, you know, we
Social
add more
skills, what
people
are
to
they?
the equation, it just makes it more complicated.
Yeah, we'll keep you out here in reserve.
Yeah.
Special reserve.
This is an ugly, ugly map, but I wasn't actually expecting to draw this one. But anyhow. And there's, of course, the shanty down up in the corner. If I could draw a straight line, that'd be great. And I'll better move you guys over as well, so you can see what it is. These are my amazing art skills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll add the key later. And that's basically it. Back in just a sec.
Ready? Considering how long it's been since we've played, it's actually going smoother than I thought it would.
Yeah, it's not doing too bad, actually.
Alright, just get another mirror.
Alrighty. So, do you have any other questions before we get the others show up and we proceed, or you right with what you've got so far?
Probably going to grab the public if I can, basically try and get what public media I can get on them and anything behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I think what
Okay,
black market
well-
I might be involved in.
Given that Rev's driving in, you'd have ample opportunity to do so. So let's deal with that now.
Oh,
And I'll probably be
the
also
other thing I
doing it
was
whilst
gonna
we're
say,
driving out to the other job too.
the
Yeah.
other thing I was gonna say, GM, is that in my experience, when like another player decides to do something else, even if it logically makes sense, is that they can be sometimes forgotten. So
Yeah.
just like whatever it is, like I may want to do a perception check just so I can feel like I'm still playing. Just putting that there while we're
Okay.
on break.
Yeah. Well,
Because
this
I
is.
know as a GM, I forget sometimes. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
shit. Like,
Well, generally I try to actually work my way around the table, but
of course.
it doesn't always work out that way, and my kitten is calling to me. Oh, she's
Anyway.
so
Who
I
is
just wanna-
my cat?
Anyway,
Oh wow, that is a lovely note.
kitten boss has to be obeyed. All right.
Also, just another thing with Roll20, you can do shapes instead of everything freehand.
Yeah, I thought it'd be easy. I've got a graphics table here. I tried drawing it
Ah,
on
okay.
freehand, but the problem is, as soon as I touch the surface, it says, "Oh, you're doing a thing," and then instantly does it for me. And yeah, next time I'd actually knock up the map in Blender, and then.
So we got
import
further
it.
ahead than you expected us to.
Well, I was expecting kind of to get here, but then me being me and slightly ADHD and forgetful, I forgot to draw this map. I've got it on paper as a rough sketch, and I thought, well, that's enough to show you what's going on. But given you can't see my video channel, it kind of makes that a bit of a challenge to, I don't know, see through time or space.
See through time.
So yeah, that one. Yeah, cool. In terms of what you're able to dredge up on the
Are we
Happy
still on
Valley
break, by the way?
Retirement Village, Ithakari, are you there?
He's still on smoke.
Okay,
done.
still on a smoker.
Oh, sorry, DM. One more thing. Am I still okay at the end of the stream to promote the stuff I've got going on?
That's fine.
Okay, just double
I mean, this is all going to get thrown up on, let's see, Cyberpunk Uncensored. And for those of you who are watching this recording, you should be able to see the Facebook group, Discord, and other website details scrolling across the bottom. Because got bored and that's what I did. And yeah, the other stuff will get tidied up later. But
Okay.
yeah, so I know there's other streams coming up. There's a regular sort of occurrence for this sort of thing, and Rob is always pushing out more material, so it's good to see.
I'll get the advertising out of the way then. So
Yeah, go for
from
it.
my end, I'm a DM on rpgathome.com, and we are doing a stream tomorrow, which is our first game of Call of Cthulhu with Pulp Rules, and we are running the Cracked and Crooked Manse, which is in a spooky mansion. So feel free to come by at 8 p.m. AEDT. It'll be the first time we're debuting characters that may survive the adventure and beyond, which is always nice. And yeah, rpgathome.com. See you there.
Cool. Yeah, it's the one thing about Call of Cthulhu, you never survive unscathed.
Not with the original rules, no. Pulp Cthulhu allows you to have this, like, without going too much about it,
Yeah.
it allows you to come back from death if you
Oh,
have 30
okay.
luck or above.
When I say unscathed,
And you have to say a ridiculous story about how you survived in true pulp style. Like, guys, I was flying through the air from the airplane that we crashed in, and then I landed on a hot air balloon, and he took me to where you are, and it was great. Like,
okay. Just a sec.
It's got a touch of Baron Munchausen in there as well.
perfect,
Yeah.
exactly
I don't
right.
know. I'll check it
I
later.
really need to watch that movie.
Oh, you should.
Oh, there's also like a sort of freeform game based around Baron Munchausen of telling stories, and you get interrupts and stuff, and yeah.
Ooh.
Dude, is that an actual thing? Because, like, if it is, I
That'd
think
be
my
fun.
partner will, like, just
Yeah.
love you for finding it. Holy crap. She
Um,
loves that movie
yeah.
with a passion. She showed it to me.
Oh God! Imagine mixing Chi Chi Bang Bang, Mary Poppins, and Baron Munchausen.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically just taking acid at that point, isn't it?
No, that's when we involve basically Alice in Wonderland.
Anyway.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, sorry, like I'm just so exhausted I can't focus.
okay. Well, we'll just call it quits in a few minutes. I'll just introduce the scene and you pull up to the front and we'll leave it at that. So,
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Do we do the roll
that's fine,
for
Curry.
pulling up what media knowledge I have, or do we do that afterwards for next time?
Well, I can outline the basics now. But we'll call quits for the session here for the Curry's sake.
Yep.
But basically, the Happy Valley Retirement Village. This is the 5th installation that they've done. They've received a large amount of backing via Militech and Biotechnica. There was some funding from Arasaka, but that got divested when the whole RED thing happened back in 2024, 25, whichever it is. There's Clinton Gates is taken over as one of the top level board members at the moment, and has not a majority share, but a large share, sort of somewhere between 5 and 10% of the entire business. And annoyingly enough, my other page of notes is being lost somewhere to my pile of paperwork. But there is an individual, she runs the actual local installation. I'll give you the name next session. And oversees what goes on there. But that's about all you've been able to find out. They run a retirement village for corporate executives. They provide them with high quality brain dance and other things so they can experience the world as they were with as children and all that sort of stuff, or adults and that sort of stuff, without the risks of injury and all those sort of physical impairments impacting upon them. It's a fairly hard PR campaign showing out the glossy wonders of such technology. And that's what you've been able to pick up in the half-hour drive down there.
Okay.
Was I able
I'm
to
going
pick
to
up
park
anything?
about a block away and
Yep.
let them out, and then I'm going to get on my bike with my helmet.
So if you just want to, we'll pick this up next session. All right, as you walk in the door, because Ithakari is just wiped, so I don't blame him for that. Unfortunately, it's going to be a bit of a shorter session, but hey, that's okay. And we will pick this up in 2 weeks if everybody's okay with that.
Sounds good to me.
All right. I will catch you up in 2 weeks. It's 7:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. If there's any problems, let me know, and we'll reschedule the session if necessary. All right. Thank you much, everybody. Don't forget, Cyberpunk Uncensored is doing its thing, and we have a huge amount of resources and things out there that you can make use of, including live streams. Thank you for your time this evening, and enjoy the rest of your day.